Assalamu alaikum. This is Iftihar, and you are watching my YouTube channel Ifimatics. Today, the topic that we are going to learn about that is ratio and proportion. First, we try to understand what is a ratio. So, for the definition of ratio is concerned, ratio is denoted by this symbol 2 points, just like we place colon in English, and in mathematics we call it ratio. So ratio of two numbers tells us how far the other value will go if we raise the first value, but the rate between them or the relation between them must be same. For example, if you are going to buy five identical books of the same price, if one book is having a cost of £2, then two books would be having a cost of £4, and likewise three books would be having a cost of £6, and five books would be having cost of £10. So the ratio between two numbers tells us if we raise the first quantity, the second quantity will also be increased with the same rate. All right. So if there is a ratio A ratio B, this is called ratio. A ratio B, that means A divided by B or A over B. Normally, we will denote these two signs. A ratio B will also be equal to A over B. And sometimes, the thing that I was recalling about ratio, there was, for example, if one book is having, if let's say we take book on this side and cost on the other side, cost in pound. Okay, so one book is having cost of for £2, four books are having cost of for £8, and whenever you simplify, you will get the same number. Like 4 one time is 4, and 4 two time is 8. By dividing 4 with each, uh, dividing by 4, dividing for the left side and the right side of a ratio, both. The rule is whatever you do on the left side of ratio, doing means multiplying or division. If you are multiplying left side of the ratio, you will also multiply the right side of ratio with the same number. If you are multiplying or dividing, that means if you are dividing the left side of the ratio, you will also divide the right side of ratio with the same number. So that was all about ratio. Now we try to understand about equivalent ratios, because to understand about proportion, the equivalent ratios topic must be known. So if you have 2 ratio 3 and 4 ratio 6, they are equal, but in mathematics they are called equivalent. So 2 ratio 3, because why are they equivalent? Because they can be simplified to get the same number. If you divide both of them by 2, you will get 2 ratio 3, 2 ratio 3. So you can say 2 3 and 4 6 are equivalent. Okay, in this way 2 3 and 4 6 are equivalent. So you can write 2 ratio 3 equivalent 4 ratio 6, and you can also write it 2 over 3 equals 4 over 6. All right. This equality, the equality between two ratios is having a special kind of name. I will tell you about that. But these and this, they are called equivalent ratios. Equivalent, equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratios. Now, There is I told you about this one. This is called proportion. So you can say the equality between two identical ratios or two equivalent ratios is called proportion. Proportion tells us if you raise first quantity, like if you raise this quantity, the other quantity will also be raised with the same rate. Here rate is very important. For example, you if you rate I mean if you change to ratio 3, and if you raise it, if you increase this value to 6, the other value 3 will also be increased with the same rate. If you are going to change it to 8, that would be wrong, because 3 has to be changed with the same rate. That means if there is a basket of red balls, and there is a basket of green balls. Okay, green. Okay, if you place two red balls, then you have to put three green balls. One, two, three. Okay, now again, if you put two red balls, you will again put three green balls. Now third time, if you again put two red balls here, you will again put three green balls there. Now you can calculate, this much is six red balls, just like this one was red and this one was green, so this one would be red and this one would be green. Same ratio or the same rate would be there. So six red balls, and how much green balls are there? There are nine. So this 8 is wrong, and there must be 9. And if you simplify, 3 2 times is 6 and 3 3 times is 9, you will get the same ratio, 2 to 3 and 2 to 3. That means the equivalent ratios would be equal, and the sign of equality between two ratios is called proportion. Now the question is, how many types of proportion are? So I will tell you, there are two types of proportions. The first one is direct proportion and the second one is inverse proportion. I would raise all of them. So the first topic is your ratios, and now the second topic that is the main concern of our today's uh, video, that is proportion. There are some things that needs to be understood, and first of all, the thing that needs to be understood is, if A ratio B is equal to C ratio D, then these terms on the extreme are called extremes. These are extremes, and these two are means. The central one are called means. So always remember, the product product of means is always equal to product, because the space was short, so I magnified that. Product of extremes, sorry, product of means would be equal to product of extremes. Yesterday, I told you in our previous video about product. Product means the term that you get after multiplying. The product of means B times C, and product of extremes means A times D. A is extreme, D is extreme. So the product of extreme means the term that you get after multiplication of these two terms, and the product of mean means the term that you get after the multiplication of these two. I highlight these are means, this one and this one. These are called means. These are called means, and the green one, this one and this one, these are called extremes. Extremes. Okay, I think you got it. Now there is another thing. If you want to get the relation between two things which are not going in the same way, for example, what does it mean? I tell you about it. So far the mean, the proportion is concerned. So far the proportion is concerned, there are two types of proportions. One of them is directly proportion, and the other one is inversely proportion. Directly proportional says if you raise first quantity, the other quantity will also be raised, and if you decrease the first quantity, the other quantity would also be decreased, but with the same rate. That was the relation between the first two ratios. Likewise, for example, if you have a vehicle and you want to go to a journey, 1 liter, for example, if your vehicle has an average of 13 kilometer, that means in 1 liter your vehicle covers 13 kilometers distance, and in 2 liters it will cover 26 kilometers distance. In 3 liters it will cover 39 kilometers distance. That means if you keep increasing the fuel, the distance traveled by the vehicle would also be increased. So this is called directly proportion. And if you decrease the fuel, you will the distance covered by the vehicle will also be decreased. That means if you increase first thing, the second one is also increasing. That means this is the directly proportional. Or if you decrease the first value, the second one is also decreasing. So this is the directly proportional if both the arrows are on the same side. That is the point. This is a lot of students, I mean a numerous number of students are there, and even some of the teachers who don't understand about the topic of proportion. Sometimes directly proportion and sometimes inversely proportion, and how do we deal with these two types of proportions. So I will tell you. First of all, what you need to do is you need to understand how will you make the